Hi, everybody, and welcome to Percentile Advice. I will be your keeper this evening as we continue in the Children of Cthulhu. I am joined by Steve and John and Hannah, and we are continuing our chapter called Laughing at the Wind. So, does anybody want to do a recap? Y'all want me to do the recap?
You do the recap.
All right. Well, last week, a bunch of things happened and some stuff.
All that stuff. 100%. Yeah. No, actually, last week was a little solo mini-sode just between me and the Hannah down there where Kara had a pretty surreal experience. Kara, do you want to tell us about your adventure, your solo?
So the room was spinning, and I ended up in this tunnel going downwards. Figured out that it was skeleton arms lowering me down, and I get to this chessboard puzzle, get past that, had the stereotypical rope bridge that I almost died at, froze mid run, just did not do anything but fall, and then climbed my way out to then face this scorpion centaur looking thing and got stabbed in the heart. I died, and then I woke up, and it didn't happen. Or did it?
Yeah, you woke up back in the room with your two companions, and you look down at your chest where you had been kind of impaled by this large scorpion. What is it called?
Tail.
It's tail.
Sting.
Stinger, that's the one I was looking for. My brain kept saying pincer, and I was like, that's the wrong end. And you see that there's like this fading red mark on your chest, but it's like within a couple seconds it goes from being gnarly and bumpy, very scab-like, to a light pinkish hue, to now where it's barely visible, more than a shadow on your skin. Guys, you are in this room.
So wait a minute. So she died, and then woke up. She's fine.
Yeah.
Dallas time that happened was the 80s.
The Dallas. Boys, you two are...
Dallas time that happened was the 80s. I'll be here all week.
Primarily because you live here.
Ba-dum-ts.
You guys are in this room and you have just finished witnessing all of these spinning wall tiles. You guys noticed the previous week that Kara was gone. So we're going to kind of do a little time jump back to right when you guys realize Kara is gone.
So floor tiles, ceiling pieces, wall stuff, everything was just spinning around, and we saw her fall through one, then poof, everything stopped. There's still this big, huge concrete, metal or something door,
Stone
slab covering one wall.
Yep.
Oh, geez, Doc, where did she go?
I don't know.
I'm going to run over to the square she was on.
Yeah. You run over to where you expect her to be, and you're not really seeing anything. You can still hear some sort of like mechanical whirring going on in the walls, but nothing too... It begins. It's kind of like trending down. You know what I mean? Both of you make me a spot hidden.
Poof, your spot hidden.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my line.
Need to get a little faster, old man.
Oh.
I passed that roll with a 51.
Hard success.
Okay. So you guys are kind of looking around all these walls. Nate, you notice out the corner of your eye, somewhere behind where Bernard is standing, you see a figure. And it's Kara. She is standing or kind of kneeling down in one corner of the room, kind of behind Bernard. And you can see the faintest movement of a tile behind her. And there's still some tiles around the room that are kind of re-clicking into place. And one behind her seems to be kind of re-clicking into place. But there she sits. She looks perplexed. She seems to be like kind of patting herself and like looking down at herself and looking very, very confused. But she seems to have only been gone for a few seconds at best. But she did manage to change sides of the room.
Now, geez, Kara, how'd you get to the other side of the room?
I don't know.
She is sitting, you said?
Yeah, like in a half kneel position, you know?
She's slowly gonna get up by herself. She's not gonna touch the wall. she's not.
We fucking walls.
How long was I gone?
Gone? You were just here a second ago. I don't know, maybe with all these things spinning, what'd you do? Like run along the wall or something to get over to that side?
No. I fell first. There was some like chessboard thing. A rope bridge. Fought a scorpion. Large scorpion. And now I'm here.
I'm going to look over at the professor.
And I'm going to look back, and I will look at Kara and say, are you saying you've lost some time here?
Yeah. Yeah. I was only gone for a few seconds.
Like the thing started spinning. I looked over. Poof, you were gone. I came over here to where you're at. And, oh, there you are over on the other side of the room.
Yeah, we thought you had just walked over there or something.
Huh.
Probably more likely she got thrown, like with the spinning tiles, you know,
Yeah.
the catapult
Yeah.
effect.
That
Yeah,
makes
that's what
sense.
Yeah. Kara, make me a sanity roll. Being faced with the implications of your loss of time.
Failure.
Okay. So you lose 2 points of sanity. And you kind of have this temporary feeling, it's not long lasting, but where you're going to kind of question everything around you, whether you are the one who's having the quote unquote episode, or if they're having a quote unquote episode.
Yeah.
But somebody is wrong. And you
I'm
feel
pretty damn sure.
right. It feels viscerally real to you, but they seem very, very sure of the amount of time. And your brain is having trouble deciding who is right. Like Nate lying to you, maybe. Bernard joking with you about this, unlikely.
Yeah.
You know, Nate might try to pull one fast one on you and pull a little prank, but Bernard's not that kind of guy. Okay. So you guys are back in this large room. There is a stone slab perfectly sealed to the wall and a doorway leading back the way you came. Across from that door is another door leading to some other unknown room. The floor is yours.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what has happened, but we've seen some really weird stuff since we started with Statham and even beforehand, so maybe we should just go on through the door and...
We definitely ought to get out of this room before the floor starts doing that shit again.
You're not wrong.
I'm going to write that down in my notes as Bernard said I was right.
Gonna go ahead and start moving towards the door.
Okay, the door into the room that you have not been in.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Going with him.
Okay. Kara?
I'm gonna follow behind.
Okay. So you approach the other door, and it is a large door that is, it opens inward. It's got some decoration that matches the walls. Like, it kind of flows, but it is substantially separate from the walls. Doesn't appear to have any locks. Seems to have just standard pull handles, not even like latches. It just kind of pulls open if you would like to.
So after the floor did all that spinning stuff, I would just like to, before we open it, take a close look at the door, the hinges, if they're on this side, the seal around the door. I don't know. My mind is racing, and I'm thinking like little stabby traps or something, you know.
Yeah,
So
you want to
I'd
look
like
for
to check
traps.
for traps.
Okay. Is there a skill you would like to use, or do you want to use like a standard spot hidden?
I think I would like to use it as a spot hidden.
Okay, go ahead and make me that spot hidden roll.
That is a success.
Okay. As far as you can tell, this door does not appear to have any traps. It's not nearly as well hung. God damn it. I deserve that one. It is not as well fitted to the door frame as other doors have been.
Hot dog in a hallway.
Hot dog in a hallway. I'm going to regret that. I can already tell. But you notice that it has a lot of buildup around the like bases and the corners where dirt, debris, cobwebs, things like it's not been opened in quite some time. But as far as you can tell, it doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. Besides the fact that everything here is out of the ordinary. It's ordinary for its extraordinary surroundings, you know? Okay.
I'm going to put my ear to the door. Can I hear anything on the other side?
Make me a listen. I need to find a better way to say that instead of make me a roll.
Give me.
Give me.
That is a success.
Okay.
Just barely.
Just barely.
Could also just say roll a.
I could. It's just my brain goes right to make me. So, as you press to the door, you realize it's very cold. This door, stone, some metalwork. But you don't hear anything besides maybe a faint wind sound. Not like gushing, you know, roaring winds, but like whistling, almost like when there's cracks in doors or walls and it kind of has that whistling effect. You're hearing some kind of airy motion through the door.
Hey, door looks okay. I don't hear anything on the other side except it sounds like, you know, and the air's moving around a little bit. I think we're good.
Okay.
You want me to get it?
Sure.
I'll open the door.
Okay. So with a modicum of effort, it's a heavy door, but you are able to kind of pull it open. You are led into a long hallway. And this hallway has 5 alcoves on either side. And in each alcove is a stone statue of a warrior.
So this is a total of 10 alcoves, 5
Correct.
on each side.
Correct. At the very end of the door of the hallway is a large golden door, very brilliant. From this distance, it's very impressive.
I'll turn the other one. Okay, so I'm not the only one, right? This is the thing from the dreams. Like I'm supposed to go take the staff and find a hole up there. I know that from my dream.
Yeah, as best you can all tell, this, and there are some discrepancies from your dreams. Maybe the size, or your dream may not have included the alcoves, or you know the length of the hallway, but the pieces are all there. But just like
Statues
anything,
of warriors, gold door at the other end.
Yep, it seems to be, and you know you can chalk up some of the discrepancies to interpretive dreaming. You know that there's going to always be some but yes, as far as you guys can tell, this very, very, very closely matches what you've seen in your dreams.
I would like to walk up to one of the warriors and examine it as though looking for archaeological distinctions.
Okay, certainly. Maybe that archaeology roll.
Poof, you're that archaeology. Right?
I did it again.
That's a regular success, 67 on a 76.
Okay. You can definitely tell that these are original They are period correct to the original building of this monument structure. Very well preserved, never been in direct sunlight, no exposure to water. This is a very dry area, so they are very pristine, delicately carved. They look great. Exactly what you would, as an archaeologist, this would be like a holy grail find, to find it in this impeccable and have 10 of them, all of them pristinely kept.
And while he's looking, he's sort of verbally, under his breath, noting period armor, period headdress. The weapon seems to be period, and just going down the list of things that he's looking at. And he's going to turn back to Nate and be like, I think this is what we were.
Yeah, well, in my dream, I was trying like hell to find a hole in the floor to put the staff in, the staff we got back in Egypt. So, I don't know, my gut's telling me it's up closer to that door. I mean, if we're going forward, the door's the way. And it happens to coincide with all of our dreams. Is there anything from your dreams that we need to know about here?
Just reading the book.
What about you, Kara?
Y'all did the hard part. I just opened the door once you guys did it.
So is there a spot in here that Bernard would be looking for as the spot he was reading from?
Yeah, certainly. From your dream, you know that you were facing the door. You were kind of you were central to the warriors, the stone warriors on either side. So kind of in the middle of them, both directions. You seem to be centralized with facing the door. Which, looking at this room, you can find that, you know, the middle warrior on either side, directly in front of those two in the middle, would be the central location between all of those, and you could be facing the door. So you could emulate that.
Then that's what I will start doing, and I'm going to look at each of them and say, are we doing this, or...
Well, I mean, we're trying to move forward here, right? That door at the end of the hallway. I mean, we could go and just see if it opens, but my gut tells me these dreams had meaning. I mean, it wasn't only us, right? Abuela Lala, or whatever her name was, she had something to do with all that dreaming shit too, didn't she? The painting or something? I can't remember. It's been so much shit going on here.
She said Iggy was supposed to open the door, and...
Oh, geez, we got to tell Abuela about Iggy.
Well, Iggy will probably be all right.
We stuck him in the trunk of a car.
He'll be fine.
It's a Jeep. It's like a open trunk.
All right, I'm going to reach into satchel, backpack, or whatever, and dig around and find the staff from Egypt. All right, well, I'm going to start looking for a hole in the floor for no other reason, to find out if there's any truth to the dream.
If you happen to go down towards the door, maybe check it and see if it's unlocked, just for shits and gigs.
Okay.
So I'm going to start moving down the hallway, past all the alcoves, scanning the floor between the statues. In my mind, there should be symmetry here, so I'm kind of paying more attention towards the middle of the hallway.
I got you.
And more towards the end of the hallway near the door, but I'm looking the whole way down.
Okay. So, Kara, what are you doing?
I'm gonna start heading towards the door. I'm gonna look to see if there's anything I recognize during it, but I am heading towards the door to see if it's unlocked.
Certainly. So, can all three of you make me spot hidden rolls, please?
So all three of us in unison. Poof, you're spot hidden. You guys suck.
I knew what you were doing. Had I not been the one, I would have done it.
You'd
with
have been
you.
there with
I'd
me.
have been with you.
Spot hidden.
I rolled a 6, which is an extreme.
I rolled a
Very
10,
good.
which is an extreme.
I rolled a failure, missing by 1. And normally you'd be like, oh, that's a no-brainer, right? Spend some luck. I am very low on luck. I am going to spend 1 point of luck, which takes me down to 17.
Well, I had already planned after tonight we're going to do a development phase because it's been a minute. So, don't stress too much.
Yeah, if
Okay.
I recall correctly, last time I didn't get... All I had to do was roll over 18 and failed to get any more luck. But anyway, meanwhile,
Okay.
So I made mine a barely a success.
So we have a regular success and 2 hard or extreme successes. Okay, so Nate, we'll start with you. You notice that the floor is fairly clean. There does appear to be a lot of sand near the gold door. And it kind of tapers away as you get further from that door.
So is the sand reminiscent of that above? Like Mexican... It's going to sound silly. Mexican sand versus
No, I
Egyptian sand? Because in my mind right then raced, what if this door opened us like back to Egypt?
That'd
Like,
be epic.
it would seem like the sand, I
There
don't
is a
know, in the
difference.
movies, it's like really fine sand in Egypt and kind of a rocky, gravelly
No,
sand
I'm
in
with you.
Mexico.
Make me a natural world roll, please.
Poof.
One of these days, I'm going to not say that. I promise. But my brain...
That is a hard success, a 3 under a 10.
Oh, beautiful.
I'll be ticking off that skill.
So, while this does not appear to be Egyptian sand, it is distinct from the sand at the surface. It is finer. It is drier. And I don't know that sand can give this impression, but because this is my world, I get to make it have this impression.
Yeah, let's do it.
It feels brittle, delicate, easily worked down to a fine powder.
Like talky?
Yeah, talky.
I think powdery would have been...
It still has like substance to it, but if you pick it up and rub it between your fingers, normal sand, you just stays sand, but this it almost breaks apart, like it feels brittle. Does that make sense?
Brittle and fine.
Right. And like you could continue to work it down to a much finer, like it's not,
Like 600 grain sandpaper.
but it doesn't have the strength that the sand above you would have. Like it's
Okay.
brittle.
And this sand here seems a little different than the surrounding areas, but I'm no expert or anything.
Not yet. Not with rolls like that. You might be. Okay, now we're going to move on to the two of you. Oh, but you did not find the hole that you're looking for.
When will Steve find the hole for his magic rod?
It's not that kind of stream. Not that kind of podcast. Anywhoozles. Moving on to the two of you. Kara. You notice, so you've approached the door, correct? So you notice that the door does not appear to have pull handles. It does appear to push inward. Are you going to attempt to do anything to the door, or are you just looking at it right now?
Well, let's just look at it for right
Okay.
now.
You do notice that the door has very ornate design in it. It has these gold panels that are kind of cross-sectioned with bits of emerald or jade, some kind of green stone, that all seem to be kind of swirling away from a central figure in the door. Okay? The central figure is one that you've not seen, but it's winged and large snout and very large claws. You can see a few people, and scale-wise, these people are like the size of its shin, like they're up to its knees. And it seems to be this green emerald pattern is exuding from it in this door. And then slightly below that iconography, you can see a depiction of a book laid open. And if you had looked and been less perceptive, it would have been hard to tell which way this green swaths were going, because they look like they were also coming out of the book, but you notice, due to the way of the tapering or just the general flow, that it's almost like the book is pulling that green swirls into itself instead of exuding it. A less keen eye would have missed this detail, but you're fairly certain, given the context clues and just the way it's kind of built in, that this being is exuding this and the book is absorbing it. Okay? Okay. You also notice a singular small paw print in the sand. Bernard, so you're staying kind of in the center of the room, looking at like the stone figures in the room as a whole. Is that correct? Or are you looking for something specific?
I imagine with them moving, I would be watching them and sort of distracted by what they're doing and looking in their direction more than looking at these stone figures so much, if you know what I'm...
I gotcha. So in watching these two kind of moving around, you also notice the door, and you can see the iconography, but at your distance you don't get the same impressions that Kara gets, but you do see the same swirls coming in and out of the book and this being. But what you do notice is that directly above you there is a hole in the ceiling. About yay big. About the size, say, of a staff.
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, man. What's up? I'm kicking sand around, wondering if the hole is underneath the sand.
I think I found your hole.
God damn it.
Well, yeah, sorry. I'll stand up straight and pull my pants up a little bit. It's, I left the belt back in England, and I've just been kind of, you know. Anyway, where's the hole, man?
Right there. And Bernard's going to point to the hole in the ceiling.
No way, that's it. I feel stupid for trying this, but I'm going to turn to the nearest statue and say, hey, man, where's the hole?
Okay.
Nothing. How high is the ceiling?
It's about 7 or 8 feet. I mean, it's an easy reach for your height plus the staff. It's not.
All right. Well, I am going to take the staff, turn it upside down so the head of it is pointing downward, and reach up and try to put the foot of the staff. Is that what you call the bottom of the staff?
Base. Foot.
The base of the staff, and see if it fits in the hole in the ceiling.
Make me one more spot hidden roll before you do, please. I still did it. I still said it.
Also, go ahead and tell her what your roll
That's
is.
a success.
As you're moving towards it, something has occurred to Bernard, and he says, was it on the ceiling in your dream?
So as I'm reaching up and pushing over the shoulders, I never found it in the dream. In my dream, the warriors had just pointed to it, like and then I woke up.
Did they point up?
Yeah, geez, do I recall which way they were pointing?
I'm pretty sure. Did I see it in my dream? right?
You did. You can recall it if you choose to.
Okay.
I won't assert you to have dream amnesia. But you, in your dream, yes, he pointed down at a hole in the floor.
No,
Kara,
he-
yes, you did see the staff in the hole of the floor.
He pointed down in my dream.
So there are some differences from my dream and this, but I'm starting to wonder, with all the mechanical commotion in the last room, if there's not something we need to do here before.
All the floor tiles spinning around back there. Maybe this whole room just flipped.
Maybe. And maybe
But
we
then
have
wouldn't-
to unflip it.
That would've
Wouldn't
been
the
super
Warriors
cool.
be upside down then?
I should have done that. Had the Warriors upside down. That'd have been brilliant.
Would logically, can Bernard fathom a way for the ceiling and floor? Not where are the Warriors on, like,
Pedestals.
are the pedestals on the floor in the alcove or
Yes.
on the wall?
They're on the floor in the alcove.
So I'm going to pull the staff back down. My first thought was, well, let's go ahead and try it anyway. And then my second thought was, oh, what if once you stick it in there, you can't get it back out?
Right. So I never told you the answer to your spot hidden roll.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, we got distracted.
Distracting.
You notice that the base of the staff, the portion you were going to stick up into the ceiling, has some ornate carving to the base of it. It's very much almost like a maze, where there's these turns and ups and downs, and there's one singular
Like drawn on it, or it's grooved
into it, 3-dimensional. And at the very base where the staff stops, there's one opening in the grooves, and at the further down where it would connect to the rest of the staff, there is one opening on the opposite side.
I have a feeling this thing is like a key or something, you put it in the hole, maybe there's a peg in the hole, and then you gotta turn the staff and follow the maze pattern to seat it.
That's interesting.
Could be the way the room gets flipped. Or we could do a quick search. Look, let's just say that somehow or another this room could, like the previous room, can do the spinny thing, right? I mean, geez, that's mechanical. So we got to be able to check the corners, the ceilings, along the floor, at the walls, and see seams or.
That would probably be the responsible thing to do here.
So I'd like to check the wall, specifically the wall that the gold door is on.
Okay.
Figuring it's the smallest wall of a very long hallway, and all along the edge, I want to just look at it and see, are there gaps where the corners are?
Yeah.
Or
Gotcha.
evidence of something sliding against another, like the bookcase that is a hidden door, sometimes you'll see the scratches on the wooden
Right.
floor kind of thing.
I
That's the
gotcha.
kind of stuff I'm looking for.
Okay. Do you have a skill you'd like to use? Or would you rather roll a spot hidden? I feel like I shouldn't ask you guys that, but I want to give you guys chances to use skills.
I want to try mechanical repair,
Okay.
because this would be a mechanical thing.
You have established that there's mechanics. I'm with you 1,000%. Go for
The
it.
chances aren't as good, but I'd love to tick off a different skill.
Yes. Kind of work through that.
That's a success. 35
Nice.
under 38.
Brilliant. Yeah, you do
Check
not.
mark, baby. Sorry.
You do not notice any indications of anything mechanical. And that's with your previous knowledge of how the previous room seemed to act. You're not seeing any indications of anything along this wall, no.
I'm going to be looking with him, and I'm also, when I get to the door, I imagine I'm going to see some of what you described to her, and I'm going to examine it a little closer and Bernard's thinking here is that a lot of the times these sort of pictographs are going to tell some kind of story, whether it's a warning or a history, and he's going to try to get some sort of meaning off of it, whether it's history or occult, or he's trying to figure out what it is.
Okay. Is there a roll you would like to make, or would you like me to decide?
Occult.
Okay, roll it.
Does that have any bearing on anything?
It's going to change the type of information you could get.
Okay.
Because that's how I choose to do it. Is that if you roll history, I'm going to give you history. If you give me occult, I'm going to tell you whatever's occultish about it.
Occulty, I think is the word you're looking for.
That's an 89. I'm not burning my 72 luck here.
No. Yeah, so you can see the same iconography, but nothing is ringing a bell. You're not really sure if the book is having an effect on the creature, if the creature's having an effect on the book. You're not... It's not clicking for you.
What kind of snout does the creature have? You said long snout. Mm-hmm. Does it resemble any other sort of animal?
Yeah, it's very wolf coyote-like.
I was hoping to hear, but okay.
That would be really cool. But no. Coyote, wild dog, almost. Large canine teeth. Yeah.
The dingo ate Cathalpa's baby.
Exactly. Dingo ate
While
Cathalpa's
he
baby.
is checking out the door, I'm going to trace my finger along one of the swirls and tell him, it looks like the book is taking it from the monster.
And Bernard is really puzzled here.
Confused.
And he's trying to put things together in his head. In his dream, there was an emerald smoke gas looking thing coming out of the book. Here, it looks like it's going into the book.
It's very confusing for Bernard, I'm sure.
And he's going to out loud say, I wonder why in my dream it was coming out of the book, but here it's going into the book.
In my dream, it culminated at the door before it opened.
I wonder.
Maybe it's just transfer of energy. You need to take to give.
Maybe.
Hey, Kara, look at the bottom of this staff here. You see these grooves?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it look like, if you stuck this in a hole, that like in the hole there'd be like a peg, and you had to like turn the thing until it hit the slot, and then it would go down 2 inches, and then you turn to the right, and then goes in another inch, and then you got to go over to the left and down a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm going to start looking at this thing. You said it was maze-like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a single path that goes from the top to the bottom.
Correct.
So I would like to, while they're looking at the door, I'm going to be sitting there with my finger, like trying to solve the maze from the base of the staff up to the center section of the staff where the maze ends.
Yeah, I got
and see if I can solve the...
I'm not going to make you do a roll. It's basic mazes. Children can do these. It's just a matter of time. It takes you a few minutes, but you are able to plot out effectively the path. It doubles back on itself a few times where you're going to have to, go down left and then go back up to go right and things like that, but you are able to plot out an effective path if you'd like to spend some time
I'm going to spend some time memorizing it, but also thinking that I'm going to, at this rate, unless something else changes in this room, I'm going to have to do this above me rather than below me. So I'm going to be trying to memorize it backwards. Does that make sense?
No,
like,
I'm with you.
I'm thinking of, you're under a car. Mm-hmm. It's like,
left.
You have to take a second to think lefty-loosey, which way is left from the angle that I'm coming at it.
I'm gotcha.
I want to spend my time
Certainly
figuring that out. So.
Yeah. I'll give you, whatever time that they take, you have to use to do that. Yeah, good job. So, what are you two doing?
The paw print I saw in the sand.
Yeah.
How big is it? Can I inspect it?
Yeah, it's a couple inches. Not very big at all.
Like a little cat?
Like, yeah, it's weirdly very feline.
Cool.
Huh.
Looks like a black cat paw print.
Those are very distinct.
They are.
This creature on the door.
Yes.
Bernard's pretty familiar with Mesoamerican
Yeah.
culture and gods and whatnot. Does it resemble any of them?
Make me a history roll. Damn it.
Poof! You're a history roll.
Roll me a history roll.
Yeah, that sounds too
It
repetitive.
it's awful.
Toss a history roll. Give me a history.
58 is a fail.
Okay. So, it's oddly reminiscent of some in the way that it's kind of an amalgamation of several unrelated parts. Very, you know, I believe like a chupacabra is like a head of a goat, a body of something else. Isn't that correct? There's some mythology
Not
there.
quite.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Chupacabra eats goats.
okay, well, I think the chupacabra has like a couple different
It
animals.
is a
Yeah, I couldn't
chimera,
remember.
yeah.
It's a chimera. It's very. Thank you for bringing that word together. It's got these chimera traits that are very reminiscent. But as far as the mix you're seeing, it's not really ringing a bell for you. It's not doing. It's not hitting the notes.
Kara, I know you've done some work in Peru. Does this creature look like anything you've seen before as far as deities?
Does it? Do I need to make a roll?
Make me a history roll. Damn it. I swear I'm gonna break myself of this habit.
Well, we'll break it for you.
Regular success.
Okay. Once again, it's very much, a chimera, which is very popular in the region. You don't know specifically what it is, but you do know that you think you've seen references to something similar. Something that had, like, wings of a very large bat, the snout of a dog. It's a couple body parts that seem off. But it was very loosely alluded to in the form of being some kind of catastrophe. Like,
Abomination?
no. Like, its appearance is like localized Armageddon. Does that make sense? Like, it's not like the
Yeah.
entire world, but your distinct part of the world is pretty fucked. It is a
Like-
cataclysm event in and of itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But you don't know much else about the circumstances surrounding its presence. Just that the few times you've seen it maybe alluded to, there was very little information of anything that occurred in that area afterwards because there was very little left.
Awesome. Great.
Glad I could help.
I relay that. Yeah. This means catastrophe.
And you said that was a cat footprint. Catastrophe.
Oh my god.
Trying to appear like
Helpful.
intelligent and can figure out historic mysteries with these guys.
Right.
If there's not something I can call the CSI guys in for, I'm pretty useless. So it's got something to do with cats.
Well, I still think we should probably press on. Just hopefully whatever that thing is isn't here anymore.
Do you just want to try the door, or you want me to try the staff thing?
I'm going to try the door. We haven't tried the door yet, have we?
No,
No.
we haven't.
So Bernard is going to push on the door.
Okay. Yeah, it does not budge. Not even an inch. If you didn't know that it was a door, you would assume it was a wall.
Okay.
See, I think the staff's the key, man.
All
I
right.
say let's go for it.
All right. I'm going to walk back and open the book and try to find the spot that I was reading in my dream.
Okay. Make me a library use roll.
Poof, you're a library user.
I deserved that one.
19 on a 51 is a hard success.
Okay. So you're able to kind of sift through the book, and you couldn't see the pages per se in the book. You know how your brain likes to omit like cell phone screens or whatever. Like the pages themselves are not visible to you, but you were able to see kind of the roundabout place in the book you were. You were closer towards the back of the book.
You can't read in dreams, but you can hear.
That's true. That is true. So go ahead and roll luck for me, please. See, I didn't say it that time.
Look at you,
I know.
growth as a keeper.
45 is a good.
Okay. You are able to kind of pick out a few choice words that were very distinct and kind of get yourself in the ballpark, but you see about 10 pages that could possibly be it. They all have different incantations or writings or glyphs or anything on them. There's about 10 of them. As you are flipping through, with these words that you've remembered, that sound of the whistling wind kind of chirps up a little louder than normal, and the book pages turn a couple to the 8th page out of the 10 that you found. And looking at that incantation, it appears to be about the right length, about the right syntax rhythm, give or take. And it includes those words to the best of your ability that you're pretty sure could be it.
Do any of the words have any meaning to me?
Some. But there seems to be a pretty significant gap in whatever language skill you need to read it in its entirety. You get a couple words like power, life and death, wind, protection, but the context is entirely lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm at a good starting spot.
So you think maybe if I do this and the door opens or whatever, that some kind of green mist from your dream is going to pop up and you need to be at the ready with your book?
The green mist was coming out of the book in my dream. When I was
but
reading, my
Kara said
words
in
were
the
turning
door-
into the
Okay.
green mist.
So I mean, see how this works out. Because, Kara, you said in the door it seems to be going into the book, right?
As in, it's coming off of the monster into the book.
Huh.
But in my dream, it came from the book into the door.
But, to be fair,
like a
in the dream, the
cautionary
hole was
tale.
on the floor, so
True.
True.
everything could be backwards here. It's fucking opposite hall,
Upside down.
which means it's right side up. Because it's opposite hall.
Oh, that's true.
It's the logical flaw with opposite day. Everything keeps flipping.
Which means it's not opposite day at
Right.
the same time.
All right, I'm going to reach above me with the staff. Close my eyes and I'm picturing the maze. And I'm going to insert it, and I'm thinking that if, unless I just happen to hit exactly the right spot in this thing, that as I push it in, within an inch or so, I should feel something stopping me. So I'm going to insert the staff into the ceiling.
Okay. So you do feel some sort of notch that's inside up there that is, you can turn the staff and find the notch that you need to start on and are able to begin its path through the maze on the staff.
Okay. Then, transposing it from under the car instead of over the car, I'm just going to, again, with my eyes closed, visualizing that path through there. Just push it out, turn.
Right.
And
I got you. There was going to be a skill check, but you did enough prep work. I don't feel it's necessary.
if it makes you feel any better, back when you just let me figure it out, I was like, I wonder what would have happened if I'd have made a navigate roll for that, and I aced the navigate roll.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Does that mean I can tick it off?
No.
Okay.
Nice try, though. Yeah, so you are able to, you're actually pretty proud of yourself. Like, it's working pretty good. You might have one or two missteps where you overshot, like, a turn, but, you can tell right away, oh, nope, missed it, like, and you can go back. And a few seconds later, you're able to get that notch past the exit, and you feel the staff hit something that gently gives way. And I need all of you to make power rolls, please.
Hey, I just hit something at...
I got a regular success.
Okay.
39 against a 55.
Regular success.
I also got a regular success, but I just saw a hawk fly with like a small rodent in its paws.
That's the circle of life, baby.
I know.
Be happy for the hawk that it eats well tonight, like a warrior. So, sorry, I got completely off track with the hawk thing. So there's this moment where you feel that thing kind of give way, and
Like a little pressure plate up there.
button, pressure plate, something. And you feel the staff. There's almost like this split second of like a hum. And then you get this overwhelming feeling of nausea. And you are all able to keep yourselves right, but there's a moment where you feel yourself teeter and your eyesight begin to kind of close in and then kind of widen back out. But you hold on to the staff, the two of you grab the wall, but had it gone much longer, you feel you all would have collapsed. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to look around the room.
Okay.
Does anything look different?
No, it seems to be pretty much the same. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Right, there was something up there, like pressure plate or button, and when I made it through the maze, it pushed it. I don't know, man. I looking up and reaching up on my tiptoes or whatever. I got a little dizzy, nauseous there for a second, but I think we're good to go. Want to try the door now?
Kara, where are you? Are you by the door?
Yeah. Huh?
I'm in the middle with the book,
Yeah.
like close to where he is. You're by the door. Do you want to try the door?
Understand. I was like, yeah, I'm by the door. What about it?
What's it to you?
Just asking
Okay.
rando questions here for no reason.
Yeah. I was like, is he gonna keep talking? Where is this going? I try to open the door.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't budge.
Tara, have you ever solicited another person whether or not they wanted you to cut their grass for $5?
No.
Okay, that was an actual random question. There's no reason for that one.
I don't understand. Something should have happened here. If I let go of the staff, I'm assuming it stays in the ceiling because of the whole maze work.
Yeah.
I'm going to let go of the staff.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk over to one of the warriors and like, come on, dude, what's supposed to happen here? You were talking to me in my dream.
Okay.
I'm going to give him a little shake. Talk to me.
Snap out of it, man.
Yeah,
no response. Go ahead.
While he's doing that, I want to pull out my pistol and
Then I started blasting.
I'm going to release the magazine. Is it full or is there bullets missing?
This just occurred to you.
Yeah.
There are some bullets missing.
Okay.
Maybe 4 or 5. Give or take.
She's going to reload it while she has a chance. And just click it, close, and then reholster it.
Okay. Bernard, what you doing?
Bernard is going to start reading
Okay.
aloud.
Okay. Bernard. Sorry, I'm looking at your character sheet.
I assumed so. Would you like me to answer a question?
Mm-mm. Okay. So make me a power roll, please. Damn it.
Poof.
You're a power roll.
49 against a 55, so a regular success.
Nice. All right. I need you to check to take off 2 magic points, please.
Where
And all
magic
the
points?
Call of Cthulhu scenarios that we have played.
Not once.
And all of the
Honestly.
scenarios we've done, all the one-shots, all this. Is that the first expense of magic points?
It is.
This is a moment.
Did, in the very first one, Edge of Darkness, was there an expense of magic
Mm-mm.
points?
There was a lot of contested POW, but I don't believe we used any magic points.
You talk about the one with the thing in the attic that came swirling down.
I don't think so.
I think I was reading the book in that one, so it would have been against my character.
Maybe we'd have to go back and look.
We've got it on film.
We do have it on film.
Somewhere.
So as you begin to
Not
read,
technically film. I'm old school.
as you begin to read, you have this kind of moment where it feels very alien to you, what's happening, what's coming out of your mouth, but you're kind of just letting your brain kind of take a back seat and work through the words without really trying to focus too much on their meaning and just trying to get through it. And you hit a really good rhythm. You two, you hear him reading this, and you realize that as he continues through this incantation, this passage, his voice gets more and more hollow sounding, more aerated, less full, more wispy, I suppose would be a good way to describe it. More, there's almost an echo to it. But you have this moment, Bernard, where you feel like you're being watched and also watching everything in the room. And you get to the very last line, and there's like this one word that is coming up, and you can see by the way it's written, the handwriting was very determined and left dents in the page with a very finite point to it. It's you can tell that it's going to be the linchpin, and you put all of this force behind it. This whatever
They
you
wrote in bold.
bold, whatever you felt when you've read from this book before, you know, that kind of surging of power in the air, you kind of remember that and channel it through to this one word. And you guys, when he says this word, it's almost like a very small sonic boom that happens in this room. His voice is almost, at this point for you guys, illegible. It's almost like howling of a wind. And when he hits this word, there is like this finite shout of air. And you all hear a very loud stone-like grinding as every one of the statues take their staff and pull them to the front of them and tilt them outwards at a readied stance. You also feel the floor begin to kind of vibrate, and these tile work in the floor spin in various directions, not like up and down, but like planarly, so that you can still be standing on it. And a small hole just between your 2 feet, Nate, spins and drops away. But there are now 10 stone statues that have moved to a readied position. Bernard, you come out of it and you realize you have a very visceral connection with these statues right now. But also you feel something moving in your pocket.
Gonna reach and see what's in my pocket.
You recall back as you reach into your pocket that you stopped at the gift store and bought a tiny stone statue warrior made of authentic stone from the monument, and he is standing at the ready in your hands, just like the others.
That's badass. Call back.
I'm gonna put him away again.
You said a stone warrior in your pocket?
Just happy to see me.
Hard as a rock, baby.
What a staff.
Wow, a lot of dick jokes this time.
I didn't say anything about pegging the hole earlier.
How long has that been eating away at you?
Oh, wow.
All right, so now there's a hole in the floor. Am I supposed to take the...
Was there any sort of green gas or anything?
No. No, not really.
Kara, try the door.
The door does
Does
not
it do?
budge.
And I'm going to
Maybe
reach
that.
it. Go
Maybe
ahead.
the first incantation. I'm sorry. Was just get the hole to appear. We put the staff in the new hole, and then another incantation, and then door open.
Let's take this one step at a time, see what happens. So I'm going to... It never occurred to me to think and memorize a lot backwards. But I think I can figure it out and reach above me and unmaze this
I agree.
and get the staff back out.
I agree. So you're able to, it takes a little longer than the way you memorized it, but you're able to kind of backtrack your way through and get the staff back out.
All right, and I'd like to insert it in the floor. Does it go straight in, or do I feel another...
You can feel the notch
Okay.
again.
Okay. So, taking a second in my mind to do the mirror image flip of what I had spent so long practicing because it was above me, and okay, I think I got it.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to, once again, with a little extra time, work yourself through this kind of notch puzzle and seat the staff completely into the opening.
And do I feel a little button pressure plate at the bottom of it?
You do feel like there's something there that could give way given enough force.
All right, I'm feeling a little button down there or something. Another little push with this staff would engage it. You want me to do it?
Yeah, I think we've got to at this point.
All right, well, I'm going to push down on the staff.
Okay. So as you push down, you feel this click into place. And you kind of let off and you realize that it does not retract to its original position. Like it has pressed into position and it will stay there. Kara, by the door, you hear an audible like series of click, 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 click down the center of the door. And then a stop.
I think that might have done it. And then I go to try and open the door.
And it opens freely, easily even. It seems to be very light, even though it is a thick stone and metal door.
I imagine Kara, like, kind of trips opening it because she's, like, trying to, like...
Right, she anticipates it being way harder to push than it is. I'm with you.
What's on the other side?
So this door opens into a very large room. And directly in front of you is a small pedestal, like, step. And the step steps down into a large room. The floor is covered in that same fine, brittle sand, Nate, that you were looking at. And
is there like a large mound of it in the center?
There is not. It's very flat. But there are some like discs, metal or stone discs throughout the floor where the sand kind of meets up, and then there's this like stone disc, and they're all spread out. There's probably 20 to 30 of them of various sizes all around this room. It's massive. We're talking like 60 feet by 60 feet, like very large room.
And how are these discs circular?
Yes.
I guess that's kind of the definition of a disc, isn't it? How big are they? Like a couple of feet across?
So they range from as small as, 6 inches, to where you could probably put 1 foot on them, to about 2 feet. They don't seem to have any particular pattern. They seem to be spread out. There will be like a large disc and then like 2 small discs and a medium. Like they're all over the place, and they're not organized in any particular
Are
fashion.
they slightly raised above the floor and therefore not covered in sand, or are they
A
floor
little,
level and there is some sand on them?
There's some sand on them. Not a lot. They seem to be just slightly above the sand level, but there is some adjacent sand in the irregularities of the sanding. It just seems to be occasional.
Does the sand cover the entire floor, or can we see parts of the floor that are not disc?
No, it's either disc or sand, all the way to the walls. Kara, nope. I would like for you to roll spot hidden, please.
Hard success.
Okay. You notice across the way that there's an identical pedestal to the one that you're standing on, or stoop, I guess, leading to another door.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see around the corners of the adjacent, the wall directly in front of you that door is on, that the sand seems to be kind of slipping away in a small portion of the corner. Like there may be a hole in the corners.
Mm. Does this remind me of my dream at all? Because I vaguely remember like the cat was jumping.
Yeah, you remember in your dream that the cat entered this room and leapt from these discs, but there was no sand floor. It was just a bottomless pit. That the cat kind of followed this path, jumping across these discs.
Mm-hmm.
So what y'all doing?
I'm going to put the book away.
Okay.
And walk towards the door.
As you take a step forward, you feel the stone statues take a quarter turn to face you at attention.
Okay. Gonna stop and make a note of that and keep walking.
Okay. They continue to watch you. Watch is a strong term. To trace your movements through the room. They do not leave their pedestals, though, but they do turn.
Did Kara or myself see him pull his little soldier up?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, this is going to sound weird, but I mean, shit. At this point, right?
When in Rome.
Are these soldiers, like, under your command?
I am honestly not sure.
Test it out. Give him something easy, like, I don't know, one step forward.
He is, immediately after Nate says that, he's thinking one step forward.
All the statues take a step forward.
Just from him thinking.
Correct.
And the follow-up of that was going to be one step forward. How do I say that in their language? And he gets right about to how do I, and notice them taking a step.
Yeah. The moment that...
Holy shit, man. Maybe I'm controlling him. Right after I said it, did you see that? Hold on. Watch this. One step back.
If there were crickets in this room.
Sand crickets.
Sand crickets.
So Bernard is going to... Should he make a sanity roll?
I will not ask you to. If you feel that this would impact your character negatively, yes. I will not punish you with, like, a sanity loss, but you could have a sanity implication. Do you know what I mean? Like the way Kara questioned whether she was crazy or you guys were crazy. You could have a sanity implication, but I'm not going to impose sanity loss because I don't feel like it's disturbing enough to do that to you.
Well, I wasted that fucking roll.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Yeah, no, you are so chill with this. Like, you feel born to do this. Like, this is a normal Tuesday
What
for
else
you.
would you expect from reading a spell from a book
Right?
you picked up in some crazy place in Egypt?
It's all checking out. The math's all there.
So not only is he not really shaken by this, he's kind of cocky. Like, oh, okay.
It's a new side of Bernard.
Yeah.
And for right now, he's going to let them stay where they are and
I'm just
walk
curious
towards the
there,
door.
Bernard. I mean, geez, I hate to ask because it's a little bit on the personal side, but did you feel your little soldier move at all?
Did I?
Yeah, you felt something in your pocket attempt to make a step. It was unable to make any purchase, but you definitely felt him moving.
Yeah, I think whatever, I think it's linked. Not sure exactly how, but
So a little twitch from your soldier down there?
a little twitch from my soldier. I got a little poke from my little soldier.
God damn it. Anywho's. Okay, so what are y'all doing?
So we're going to the other side of the room. What are you going to do with your army back here there, B-Money?
Think for right now, I'm just going to leave them here unless we have a reason to take them.
Yeah. Tell me to come when you call. Be like the cavalry, your own cavalry, to come swooping in when things get bad.
Hopefully it works like that. I
Oh,
don't
shit.
know what the range is on...
If nothing else, you got the little guy.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I imagine I am to the door by now. I'm just going to take a step onto the sand.
Okay.
Can I, like, grab at him and stop him?
Okay. Kara, make me a dexterity roll.
Poof, your dexterity roll.
Regular success.
You are able to grab the back of his shirt,
Uh-huh.
but you are not
What,
able to...
his neck clothing?
His neck clothing. Yeah, the back of his neck clothing. But you are not able to stop him from putting a foot down in the sand.
Okay.
So, the next little bit's going to happen pretty quickly. So, I need a strength roll from Kara and a dexterity roll from you, Bernard, and Nate. I'd like you to also make me a dexterity roll just in cases. Just so
Regular
I can...
success on my strength.
Success on the strength. Regular?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a regular success on my dex.
I failed my dex roll.
Okay, great. So, Bernard, you go to step out onto the sand, and your foot hits the sand, and about that moment, you feel Kara kind of grab the back of your shirt, and you hear her try to say something, but it's drowned out by a very intense whooshing sound as all of the sand in this room begins to violently fall away. You're able to shift your weight back onto your back foot and almost kind of reach back and grab Kara's arm that's holding the back of your shirt. Kara, you're able to kind of heave him with him having pushed that weight back. Bernard, I like to think that, and I hope I'm not overstepping, but I like to think that in seeing this, you try to take like a lunge forward to assist.
My name's Nate.
I'm sorry, Nate. My apologies.
It's okay.
That you try to take a lunge forward, you know, like you're the security guy. Like there's a security risk happening.
I've got a job here.
But the staff is directly in front of you, and you just trip right over the top of it. Like you don't injure yourself, but you do not gracefully maneuver around it. But there's this moment, Bernard, where you're kind of hanging with one foot as you watch this sand just from the center of the room just begin to plummet downwards, leaving just these large stone pillars of all these little discs all around the room and no floor. So good save, both of you guys.
I'm going to scramble to my feet. I'm guessing the hole for the staff was like in front of and relatively close to the door. So I could see what was in the room, but I wasn't.
You weren't within.
Room, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to scramble to my feet and rush the few steps ahead. So what the hell?
What the fuck happened?
Well, I tripped over the thing, and I'm surprised you didn't see it.
No, I mean to the sand.
Holy shit, man. Hold on a second.
This was... Go ahead.
I was going to find something like a coin in my pocket, a peso or something. Toss it over the edge.
Tink, tink, tink.
That's a long way down. That was like, I don't know. I should have been counting. Shit. I'm going to say it was like 5, 6 seconds, right? And at terminal velocity, which we would reach in just a couple of seconds, is like 500 feet per second, 600, something. It's a lot, man. I forgot. I read it somewhere. That's at least 1,000-foot drop.
I wish I could give you inspiration for Nate pulling that shit out of his ass, this terminal velocity bullshit.
It's actually a thing, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're 100%.
There's a speed
There's
at
a
which
speed per
everything
second.
falls.
Yes, 100%. They were there. I was just very proud of Nate for knowing it. Okay.
You read it somewhere. Glanced over it.
Glance.
Okay, you heard a buddy talking about it at a party. It was the cop bar. Okay, never mind.
Jeez, what's with the second degree? All right. Cara, what were you saying?
This was how it was in my dream. And, yeah.
Shit, you said that, didn't you? When we were talking about your dream, I didn't realize that. I guess I just forgot. Because you did say that. And
I wasn't for sure.
So
that sand didn't fall away. I was gonna look.
So how far did you get in your dream? Like, did you go across these pillars?
No, the cat did, but I did not.
Hey,
it was
man.
like looking back at me, waiting for me.
So
I didn't.
I mean, I'm overstepping my bounds here, there, Bernard. I mean, you got like 10.1 of these things. You know, 10 in the hallway with 0.1 in your pocket. I've seen some movies, right? You go stepping across these, you step on the wrong one, the pillow goes flying away, and boom, you're right. Very Raiders of the Lost Ark kind of stuff. Nothing. I'm getting nothing from you guys.
I understand where you're going with this.
The only way across this room is to step on these pillars. I don't know if you trust them, but Kara didn't even do it in her dreams, so I'm just saying. Those guys will take a step if you ask them to. Why not send one of them across and see which ones are the safe pillars?
Is there enough choices for discs that it looks like there is more than one path?
Oh, easily. There's probably 20 to 30 discs. There's only, maybe 2 or 3 that you can reach from your pedestal, and only 2 or 3 that are directly accessible to the other one, or from your stoop to the other stoop. But in between, there is an infinite number of possibilities to choose from. You could go left, right.
And looking
forward,
at
back.
it, does it look like on any path you might choose? Like, so we could jump from this to this one, and then from there we could go over to that one. Does it always come to the point where at some point or several points you're going to have to use one of these small little 6-inch pillars instead of the bigger?
It appears that way, yeah.
Of course it does, because that's how it went in the movies, too.
Yeah. It do be like that.
So, Kara, do you remember what path the cat took?
Do I remember what path the cat took?
Roll luck for me.
Why didn't you just go, psst, 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 the cat's around here and you saw her footprint? Just call the cat.
Kara has the memory of a fish.
Oh. You know that it went to the right, and you know what pedestal it ended on before it landed on the far stoop. But as far as the bits in between, it's fuzzy.
It started over here, ended up on that one, did a lot of cat bullshit in between.
Cat bullshit in between. Can all 3 of you make me a listen?
Poof, you're a listen roll.
Damn it.
That is a 68 against my 20 and listen.
That is a 75 against my 20.
It's a 36 against my 60, and it's an important skill for a
Beautiful.
New York detective.
Aside from the sound of like sand still falling off of like edges and things like that, you do distinctly hear talking coming from back through the hallway into the room with a big stone slab.
Oh, shit. Hey, there's somebody coming. So I'm going to turn around and look right down the hallway. If I recall, we did not shut.
The door did shut on its own.
Okay. So the door we came into to get into Warrior Hall is closed.
Correct.
Through that, I'm hearing talking.
Yeah, you can't make out what they're saying, but you definitely hear voices.
And the big golden doors are still wide open.
Correct.
We're standing kind of in the doorway.
Yes.
Hey, there's I hear some folks back there in the room with the spinny floors.
You hear people?
Yeah, I'm hearing voices. I can't tell you what they're saying. I can't tell you what language they're talking. But the murmuring sound that you hear. Yeah.
Well,
Dissident whispers.
Great
I don't know
band.
if my family has enough pool to keep us out of
Your family has
Mexican
a pool.
prison for killing a man.
The fuck? You got games
So
on
if
their
it's
phone?
the police. What?
Just the way he said it was very much like the way kids go, do you have games on your phone? Your family has a pool. Sorry.
Right. So if those are police, right? So we took Iggy, who was only really badly hurt but unconscious, and we put him in the back of the Jeep, which, as was pointed out to me earlier, doesn't have a cover, so people have probably seen Iggy.
Or
And
he woke
that
up.
little kid guide, I forget his
Jorge.
name, Jorge. Did we just leave his body laying in that hallway?
You did.
Yeah. I think our path is forward and fast because Yeah.
Yeah.
Was the paw print something that was relayed to everyone?
Oh, yes, I will. I mean, that kind of alluded to it.
All right, I'm
I
going
think I did.
to.
I think
Okay.
she did.
I'm going to reach into my satchel,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to pull out the night vision goggles that I purchased with that big wad of cash that Statham gave us after the
Yeah.
first one. And I'm going to put it on.
Okay.
Specifically, I'm looking for the heat signature left behind by cat footprints on pedestals.
Okay.
With night vision, not thermal?
Hey, dude, why you want to fuck me like that?
Because I sure wouldn't have known a difference.
Yeah, you would.
What a
Would I?
I think.
cat
never mind.
blocker.
Cat blocker. Okay. Well, I still would like for you to put.
Doesn't say what type of night vision goggles they are.
True.
They have a thermal option. Yeah, it's fine.
Hey. Apparently, I don't know shit about night vision goggles either. I'm like, hey. I've seen movies.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a spot hidden.
Like, is this going to be, like, difficult? Or you want me to just make it and you'll tell me?
There's levels of success.
Extreme success, 14 under a 74.
Brilliant. You do not see.
Brilliant. There's nothing.
Now hold on. Let me do my thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You do not see any heat signatures on the pedestals. But you do notice that there seems to be some kind of very warm air, because it's got this like gaseous movement to it, coming out of like a surface crack in the walls to your left. It's coming out in these puffs. Like there'll be a jut of it and then it'll stop. Then there'll be a jut of it and then it'll stop.
That's interesting as hell. I have no idea what that means to us or our predicament, but I'm going to relay that to the others. In fact, I will even offer them the night vision goggles if they'd like to peer through and see what I'm seeing of this little wisp of... I imagine it being a light pink. Like, there's not a lot of heat to it, just enough to...
No, it's fairly warm. I mean, it's
So, both of you going to fuck me.
it's very hot.
Okay, hey, take a look at this, man. Hot air coming out of that crack over there.
I'm going to put my hand over it.
No, it's too far.
Oh.
Like it's in the far corner of the left.
That's why the cat went to the right. You don't want to be in that shit. I think the thing is just go right.
The one she pointed out, is there any, like, cat tracks?
No.
No
It's
thermal image of one either, in case you were wondering.
no thermal images.
Can I use the night vision goggles?
Yeah,
To
here.
look down.
Have fun.
To look down?
Yeah.
Okay. Make me a spot hidden roll. Damn it. Roll the spot hidden roll.
Regular success.
You do see something moving about down there.
Awesome.
Something warm, but it's very far down. It looks very tiny, but it is very far down.
At more than 1,000 feet, tiny is relative.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. But you are smart enough to know that if it's that far down and that small, that when you are that far down, it's not going to look that small.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand it back. There's something down there.
Am I still hearing the voices in the other room?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
Is there any change in the tempo of speech, the
Yeah.
volume, anything?
Not the volume, but it does seem to
range.
be. It does seem to be getting more rhythmic.
Hey, no problem. It's just some street kids practicing their acapella.
Exactly. Their rendition of Stomp.
In my head, I'm having a think. And I'm thinking,
Thought about Pooh Bear. Think.
can these soldiers speak?
That's what you're thinking. Can these soldiers speak?
Yeah. Does anything happen?
No.
I'm going to think in a commanding way, speak.
So what happens next is not what I would call speech. There is a definite...
They've all got gravelly voices, though, don't they?
gravelly voices, because they were stone.
Right?
Gravelly.
Ain't you, they do?
Yeah. So you do see them open their mouths. But what comes out is this otherworldly echo sonar-like sound. Almost like whale song.
They should form a rock band.
Almost like whale song, but much more deep sounding. And I need all three of you to make a sanity roll, please.
Failed that one.
I failed it too.
I also failed.
Okay. So you're all going to take a point of sanity damage. As you start to see memories of these grotesque, mutilated bodies, half torn apart, and blood spewed all over, staining sand red. And with every pulse of this echoing sound, it's like this new wave of memories where you kind of like are pulled from wherever you're standing in this memory and shifted very fastly across a vast amount of surface area land to a new place. People are dressed different, but the same carnage ensuing. After a few moments of this, just you can't see anything else around you. Bernard, you just think to yourself something to the kin of stop. Or stop it, or make it stop. And all the stone statues close their mouth and the sound ends, and all of you are able to, once again, see your surroundings. But during that vision, you're seeing 3 to 4 different locations of just absolute thousands upon thousands of people, mutilated, bloodied, torn asunder, all different clothing, different nationalities, different fauna and flora, but the same grotesque massacred scene. So enjoy that.
Hey, guys, look, I might be losing it here. I just had this horrific hallucination. Like, I wasn't even in this room there for about 3 seconds, and I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm fine now, but keep an eye on me because something's a little off.
I told them to speak, and I don't think I'll be doing that again. I think it's related to whatever they were saying because they opened their mouth.
Well, should it happen to you too?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I mean, it'd still be crazy, but it's better to be crazy and perish, you know what I'm saying? How about you, Cara?
I saw it too.
Crazy trips.
Crazy trips.
Triplets. I mean, it was a trip. Don't get me wrong.
It's like that one time I did fucking Molly. Okay.
Like there's voices out there. The whole warrior army thing doesn't seem quite as
Oh yeah.
appealing as it did.
Make me a listen roll.
Poof, you're a listen roll. She says, before I even rolled it. I'm in trouble. Survey says heart success.
Yeah. You definitely hear the rhythmic talking stop. And you hear somebody call out something. You're not sure exactly what the words are, but context clues as to tone of voice, volume, something very akin to what the fuck was that? And that's where we're going to end it.
Beautiful. Now we got a whole week or more to think about how we're getting across this pillar abyss.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's been great having everybody.
That one was fun.
I'm glad you liked it. I have been your keeper of Arcane Lore, Emily, and that's Steve, and that's John, and that's Hannah. This has been Children of Cthulhu, the chapter Laughing at the Wind, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.